So, good afternoon, friends. Today we are going to take our new chapter, that is transient stability. Now, the points to be covered are as follow. First, we are going to discuss about the fundamental idea of power system stability in brief. Okay, what is steady state stability, transient stability, dynamic stability. Then we'll come to the transient stability and the need of transient stability analysis. Then we'll discuss about the equal-area criteria. What is the equal-area criteria and how it is useful to determine or analyze the transient stability of a multi-machine system. Within this equal-area criteria, we are going to discuss the three topics: when the sudden change is taking place in mechanical input, sudden loss of one parallel line, and sudden short circuit on one parallel lines. So these 3 points we are going to discuss in equal-area criteria. Then we are going to talk about the numerical solution of a swing equation, and then in the last we will discuss the multi-machines transient stability analysis. Okay, in case of 9-bus system we'll take, and then we'll discuss how we can solve the transient stability analysis. Now the introduction to power system stability, as in our initial classes already we have discussed that power system stability classified in 3 parts. First one is steady state stability, dynamic stability, and then last transient stability. Now before understanding this transient stability or the other aspects of stability, the stability is defined as a stability when used with a reference to the power system is the attribute of the system or the part of the system which enable it to develop restoring force between the element where of equal to or greater than the disturbing force, so as to restore a state of equilibrium between the element. So this is the definition of the fundamental definition of stability, or you can say if system is able to come back to its original position, we can conclude that system is stable. So after a long time, if system is being disturbed and if it is able to come back to its original position, we can say that system is stable. Now when we are talking about stability limit, so stability limit is what? So stability limit means stability limit is the maximum power flow through some particular point in the system or the part of the system to which the stability limit referred to its operating with the stability. So stability and stability limit can be classified into two different categories according to the magnitude of disturbance, whether it is a small disturbance such as a gradual change or in a load, or a large disturbance such as loss of generation, excitation, transmission facility, and the switching operation, and the sudden change in load. Also according to the duration of disturbance we can classify the stability limits. Now we will take different types of stability limits, and I will discuss a little bit about them, and then we'll come to the transient stability. Now when we are talking about steady state stability limit, so it is said that steady state stability limit, if the magnitude of is small, as such a very gradual change in load, the dynamic of rotating machine will not be affected, and hence the dynamical equation of rotating machine such as synchronous machine act will not appear in the mathematical formulation of the power system for the purpose of the stability study. This is the simplest case of stability, and it is referred to as steady state stability of the power system. Now this is called steady state stability. Now if I am talking about steady state stability limit, so again it is the maximum power, it is the maximum flow of power possible through any particular point of the power system without loss of stability,
or equilibrium operation when the load is increased very gradually. So when we are talking about steady stability means what? Then when we are increasing load gradually and the system is operating without any being disturbed, so that system stability is called steady state stability. Now when we are talking about steady state stability, it is defined by P equal to Eg Em x sin delta. Now since the steady state stability is caused by small disturbance such as very gradual change in the load, the dynamics of rotating machine will not be involved, and hence steady state stability limit can be determined by this power handling capacity of a power handling capacity formula. Now the P is the power transfer from, so this P is what? It is nothing but it is the power transfer from the sending end to receiving end. Eg and Em are the voltage of sending end and receiving end voltage of the power system network respectively, and delta is the internal angle and x is the steady reactance of the connecting network. Now the maximum power will be transferred, you can see it will be when delta equal to 90 degree. Hence if you are putting the delta 90 degree and this equation, we will get P equal to Eg Em. So this is upon x, this will be the maximum power. Now the steady state stability limit is what? It can be increased by the system. If you are increasing the system voltage, then you can decrease the system reactance. Okay, so these are the ways by which you can increase or decrease the system stability, steady state stability limit. Now there are many more ways by which you can increase or decrease the steady state stability limit. Now using duplicate lines, by using duplicate lines or double circuit line, reactance are automatically decreased, and in addition the duplicate circuit also improve the dependability as well as the flexibility of the system. And the second method is what? You can use series capacitor. By series capacitor, automatically what will happen? This X will get reduced and the power handling capacity of the system will increase, and in this way the system stability limit will increase. Then we having dynamic stability. So dynamic stability means what? Dynamic stability is actually an extension of steady state stability, where we also include the effect of synchronous machine and automatic voltage regulator. So if you are including AVR, PSS in the machine dynamics, that type of stability achieved by the machine is called dynamic stability. Now the dynamic stability is concerned with the small disturbance lasting for a long time, and therefore in the dynamic stability studies we always neglect non-linearities and we assume the system is linear. So when we are dealing with the dynamic stability, first of all we have to convert the all non-linear equation to linear equation by linearization process, and then only we can do. So the PSS we have gone through, we have gone through how the linearization has been done and steady state stability limit has been achieved in that cases. Now we having transient stability limit. So before taking this topic, just I would like to tell you what is transient stability. Transient stability can mainly deal with the large disturbance, sudden and large disturbance in the system. So in case of small signal or steady state stability, a gradual change, but in case of transient stability, it is the sudden and the large change coming on the system, and system is able to sustain or restore the system. So that type of ability is called transient stability. Now if the magnitude of disturbance is very large, the dynamics of the rotating machine will be affected. Hence the dynamical equation of the rotating machine include that the automatic voltage regulator and exciter, prime mover and governor will appear in the mathematical formulation for the purpose of stability study. So when we are dealing with the power transmission transient stability, because the disturbance is very large, so we'll have to consider the effect of AVR, PSS and other machine dynamics like prime mover and other parameters we have to include for the mathematical formulation. Now for example, if I'm talking about the large disturbance, as already we have discussed, are sudden change in the load. loss of generation, we can consider excitation, transmission facility. So loss of generation, excitation, and the transmission facility, if and any switching operation and fault act. The effect of the large disturbance, of course, lasting for the short duration, cause a transient stability. So these are the effect which will cause the transient stability limit. Now transient stability limit is what? The transient stability limit is this is the maximum power flow of possible through any particular point of a power system without loss of stability when the sudden disturbance occurs. So again the point is same, that if the power if any large disturbance is coming on the system, like short circuit or loss of generation, excitation, the loss of excitation, loss of transmission line. So that's why I told you that we are going to discuss these 3 points. Sudden change in mechanical input, it means what? Suddenly what's happened, that mechanical power is not coming for a momentary, and the sudden loss of one parallel line or sudden short circuit on a one parallel line. So these are these cases we have taken. Now let us discuss about how we can find how we can analyze the transient stability. Now if you go through, if now this is our swing equation, that mechanical power minus electrical power is equal to m d square delta upon t square. Now before we discuss the transient stability problem of a large scale power system network, we will consider initial simplified model of power system such as a single machine connected to infinite bus. So over here also we will talk about SMIB system, and we will discuss the such situation where it is not necessary to solve swing equation and plot swing curve, which is telling us the relation between T and delta. Okay, so let us go ahead, that let us move ahead, that this is our swing equation, which is written as Pm minus Pe m d square delta upon t square. Now this is our mechanical power, electrical power, and the combined of this is called accelerating power. Now this equation can be written d square del upon dt square, which is 1 upon m Pm minus Pe, and if we are assuming d delta upon dt equal to x and d del upon dt square equal to x square, further we can write down d upon dt, d del upon dt whole square is can be written 2 delta d delta upon dt d square del upon dt square, and finally with this equation we can write down 2 delta d delta upon dt ps minus pe m. Now if you simplify this equation, we can write down d del upon dt square whole square, limit delta 0 to delta 2 ps minus pe or pm minus pe, sorry it is pm actually, upon m, and it can be written d del upon under root del 0 upon del 0 to del 2 ps minus pe upon m delta del. Now this is what our swing equation. Now initially the system is stable, so system is stable and the synchronous machine rotate with the synchronous speed which is omega 0, and we can say under stable condition what will happen, d del upon del dt is equal to 0, but during transient disturbance what will happen, that our synchronous speed will not be equal to omega 0 and d del upon del t will not be equal to 0. However, we can consider that if d del upon dt is equal to 0, so machine again rotate with the synchronous speed. So if such type of tendency is taking place in the system, we can say that the machine having the transient stability or the ability of transient stability. Now further that we can conclude one more point, that if d del upon dt is equal to 0, so further that equation delta del to del can be written 2 PS, this is mechanical power, minus PE upon M d del equal to 0. And you can see finally del 0 to del PS minus P d del equal to 0. Now just have a look on this equation. If I am talking about d del upon dt equal to 0, it means what? This 2 cannot be equal to 0. This M, momentum of the machine cannot, angular momentum cannot be 0. So ultimately this term has to be 0. So that's why we are able to write down del 0 to del PS minus PE equal to d del into equal to 0. Now let us have an example, and then we will discuss further more the transient stability and the equal area criteria actually. Now let us take an example. The a synchronous motor connected to infinite bus. Let us assume that a synchronous machine which is connected to infinite bus. The motor is operating with a torque angle delta 0 and corresponding power output is P0. So motor is operating at delta 0 and the corresponding power output is PS. Now power output is P0. Now the power input to the motor is a motor at the torque angle delta 0 can be written P max sin delta 0 Eg Em x sin delta. So this is our main equation by which you can define the power input power. Now where Eg is the voltage of infinite bus, Em is the internal voltage of synchronous motor, and X is the sum of transient reactance of synchronous motor as well as the reactance of connecting line between the motor and the infinite bus. Now suppose power output of the motor is suddenly increased to PS. Now the power output is increased suddenly from P0 to PS. Since the power input is the same as the original, the motor slow down with result that torque angle delta 0 increase and the power part of the energy stored in the kinetic energy in the rotating part is released and the delivered as output is the to fulfill gap between input and output. Now it can be understood by this way that suppose if suddenly power input has been increased from P0 to PS. So let's say initially the input power was, this is our equilibrium point. Now it has came to our this point. So delta 0 to del S we have came. Now what will happen? The machine will try to accelerate and it will seek the new equilibrium point somewhere else, and then again it will try to deaccelerate. So in this way what will happen, then acceleration and deacceleration will take place and then one area will form between delta 0 to delta maximum, and if these two areas are equal we can say that system is stable. Okay, so that is called equal area criteria. So now in the figure we have seen that with the increase in delta the power input increase, and finally when delta equal to del S, so this when delta equal to del S, the power input match with the new power output PS. So in this case this is our mechanical power. Okay, now over here this is equilibrium point. So as we know that source and sink energy are same, that is called stable point. Now however, due to inertia of the rotating part, the rotor may go past to equilibrium delta S and will oscillate between delta 0 to delta M, and eventually what will happen, that rotate with the angle delta S if the transient stability limit is not exceed. So this is called equal area criteria. Now if I am talking about the area of A1 which can be calculated as, now if I calculate the area A1 which can be written delta 0 to delta 1 PS minus PE d dash d delta, and A2 the area can be written, the area A2 can be written del S to del M PE or minus PI PS d delta. Now if you are finding A1 minus A2, so it can be written delta 0 to delta E
PS minus PE delta del minus delta S to delta M PE minus PS delta del. Now further this equation can be written A1 minus A2 delta 0 to delta S and this entire term. So the A1 minus A2 can be written delta 0 to delta M PS minus PE d delta. Now if system is stable, what should happen? D delta upon dt is equal to 0, and in this way this is what, this is nothing but it is d delta upon dt, so it should be equal to 0. So this A1 minus A2 is equal to 0, and we can say A1 minus A2 A1 equal to A2. So with this equation it can be concluded that if the accelerating area and deaccelerating areas are equal, so that system is stable actually. So this is called a transient stability. Furthermore, if system is stable and the both accelerating and deaccelerating area must be equal, and if the accelerating and deaccelerating area is equal, you can conclude the system is stable. Now further we are going to discuss about the three cases where we will solve by equal area criteria, and then we will discuss multi-machine analysis. So thank you very much, and tomorrow we'll discuss the numerical part of the transient stability. Okay, thank you.